I went from weighing 230 pounds to 150 pounds in less than a year. So here's the weight loss advice I would give you if I wasn't afraid of hurting your feelings. I spent years convincing myself that I was doing the right thing and going about weight loss the right way, and was confused why I kept losing and regaining the same 20 pounds over and over again. Had someone told me these hard truths sooner, I would have lost weight a lot sooner in my life and saved myself years of frustration and yo-yo dieting. So I'm gonna go over some 5 hard truths I wish someone would have told me sooner, and the last one really brought it all together, so hang in there with me. And if it stings, it's because it's true and you probably need to hear it, but I promise you it's coming from a place of love, and truly I wish someone would have told me these sooner. You are not eating as little as you think you are. You're not. You can eat healthy foods all day long, but you still need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. If you're not in a calorie deficit, you will not lose weight. And even if you think you're eating healthy food still has calories, and some healthy food has a lot of calories for small volumes. Peanut butter, nuts, granola, avocado oils, all oils, all of those things have a lot of calories in small servings. So you can tell yourself, I'm eating healthy foods, I'm gonna lose weight. But it doesn't matter if you're not in a calorie deficit. So to combat this, figure out what your calorie deficit is, and you can do this by Googling calorie calculator, clicking on any website, enter in all of your current information, and it'll give you a rough estimate of how many calories you specifically need to eat to be in a deficit. Then just focus on hitting that number every single day. And don't get me wrong, you can absolutely have those foods that you love. You can drink smoothies, you can eat yogurt parfaits with granola on top, but you need to be aware of how many calories those things have and try to hit your calorie goal for the day. Download an app like Lose It or MyFitnessPal to start logging and tracking your calories every day, and take the time to actually weigh and measure the food you're eating. You can get a food scale on Amazon for $10 to $20, and you can log all of your food for the day in 5 minutes right at the start of the day. Logging your food is the #1 way to make sure you're actually in a calorie deficit. So remember, you can and should eat all foods while eating in a calorie deficit, but you do need to be aware that some food has higher calorie than others, and to lose weight, you just need to be in a calorie deficit. So it's really just math. Don't fool yourself into thinking that by eating healthy, you're gonna lose weight, because that's just not true. And I lived that way for years. I ate healthy. I ate the grilled chicken. I ate the smoothies. I ate fresh fruit and vegetables and rice, and I wasn't losing weight because I wasn't in a deficit. Make sure you're actually in a calorie deficit. The next hard truth is you are not moving as much as you think you are. This is a complicated one. So first off, to lose weight, you don't even have to exercise, but I highly recommend it for your physical and mental health. And the more you move your body, the more calories you naturally burn throughout the day, so the more food you can consume while still being in a deficit. But your fitness watch, Garmin watch, your Apple Watch, the exercise equipment in the gym, they highly overestimate how many calories you actually burn during a workout. So you can go for a 30 to 45 minute gym session and it'll tell you burn 500 to 600 calories. That's likely way overestimating how much you actually burned. And even if that is true, if you're sitting down the rest of the day, you're not being that active. You need to be intentional about the way you move your body and honest about how much you're actually moving. Daily movement, sustainable movement throughout the day beats a 30-minute gym session every time. When I finally saw success in my weight loss journey, it's because I went on daily walks with my daughter. I parked further in parking lots. I try to hit 10,000 steps every single day. And every part of my day, I was intentional about getting just a little bit more movement. Walking around when I was on phone calls, opting for the stairs instead of the elevator, going on a daily walk with my daughter. Just being so much more intentional and aware of how much I was or wasn't moving, and just try to move throughout the day as much as possible. You're probably not moving as much as you think you are. The third hard truth I wish someone told me sooner is your weekends are where your weekday progress goes to die. I would be locked in Monday through Thursday, being incredibly strict, eating very over restrictive calories, if I'm being honest, and being so good. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would go off the rails and consume thousands of calories more and not move my body. And that completely dissolved the progress I made during the week. Let me be loud and clear about this. You do not need to be perfect in order to lose weight, but you absolutely need to be consistent. And if you're only consistent Monday through Thursday, that is simply not enough. Make sure you're not choosing an over restrictive calorie deficit number. It should only be 300 to 500 calories less than your maintenance. And make sure you're keeping it sustainable and something you can stick to all week long. You can absolutely go out to eat and stay in a calorie deficit. You can go to graduation parties and birthday parties and have celebrations and stay in a calorie deficit. Don't try to be perfect just Monday through Thursday and forget about the weekends. Aim for consistency every single day of the week, and do this by keeping it sustainable and simple. If and when you have days where you overeat your calories, which I had plenty when losing over 75 pounds, enjoy the extra calories, enjoy the extra rest, and keep going. Don't let it spiral you for the weekend or the week. Don't tell yourself that you lost all of your progress, because that's just not true. Focus on consistency, not perfection, but make sure you're actually being consistent enough. This one was a little personal for me, but the hard truth number 4 is there was nothing medically wrong with my body preventing me from losing weight. I blamed my big bones. I blamed my metabolism. I blamed an undiagnosed medical condition that no one can seem to figure out. And I blamed everything else instead of holding myself accountable. Now, again, let me be super clear. There are medical conditions that people absolutely have that do complicate weight loss. So if that is you, this truth is not for you. However, I did not have a medical condition, and I blamed it on one. I blamed it on parts of my body and said, I'm just not meant to lose weight. When in reality, I was not holding myself accountable. I was not being consistent. I was not being accurate in my calorie deficit, and I was just using excuses and not holding myself accountable as the reason I wasn't losing weight, when it really was entirely in my control. To lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That is point blank period for every single person out there, even with medical conditions. Medical conditions do affect how quickly or slowly your metabolism is, whether you can eat certain foods, and it does make it harder to lose weight for some people. But even with those medical conditions, you still have to be in a calorie deficit. So have an honest conversation with yourself. Are you eating in a calorie deficit? Are you being consistent? Are you being accurate? Did you fill out your calorie deficit calculator correctly? Are you holding yourself accountable? And those are hard questions to answer. But if you want real results, you have to give yourself honesty. So sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself. And the last hard truth is that weight loss is slow, but the time will pass anyway. I was so focused on getting weight loss results as quickly as possible. I wanted to lose 20 pounds in a month. I wanted to lose 50 pounds by summer, and therefore I chased fad diets and shiny new products that promise those results, when in reality, that is not realistic, that is not healthy, and that is not sustainable. Normal sustainable weight loss is anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds a week, and that fluctuates. Some weeks I lost like 2 or 3 pounds, some weeks I lost nothing, and that is very normal. To lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, and you need to be able to sustain that calorie deficit for a long enough time to see those results. It took me almost a year to lose 75 pounds, and that was a long time. But that time will come and go. Weight loss is slow, but the time will pass anyway. So you need to accept and have a conversation with yourself that this might take a long time. It might take months or even years for you to reach the results you want, but that time will pass anyway. And the only way to stick to a calorie deficit that long is to keep it sustainable. So you are not going to over restrict. You're not going to cut out your favorite foods. You're not going to choose an overly aggressive calorie deficit. You are not going to choose an overly aggressive workout plan that you can't even stick to. You need to accept that weight loss is slow and the time will pass anyway, and chasing these aggressive options are only going to cause you to quit and spiral and repeat all over again. So do yourself a favor and choose the long and slow, boring way to lose weight, because I promise you that is truly the only way to do it. Here's the part that I really need you to hear. You can lose weight without being miserable. You can lose weight without hating the food you're eating, or hating the exercise you're doing, or hating yourself while doing it. Weight loss takes a long time. Give yourself grace and try to enjoy the process. Eat foods you actually enjoy eating while staying in a calorie deficit. Find meals that fit within you and your lifestyle and your family's lifestyle. Move your body in a way you actually enjoy. I like walking, and I think that's great for most people, but some people hate walking. YouTube has thousands and thousands of free workout videos. You can get into dancing, roller skating, a ton of HIIT videos on YouTube. You could go hiking, you could go biking. The options are truly endless, but you have to try them, and you have to find a way that you can move your body that you actually enjoy. But this process does not have to be miserable whatsoever. The thing that truly changed for me, it wasn't a new diet, it wasn't a pill, it wasn't a product, it wasn't willpower or motivation. It was being honest with myself. I was honest about how much I was actually eating and moving my body. I started tracking and logging everything I consumed, and I started being more consistent and holding myself accountable. If you want the exact approach I used, I created a free one-pager to help you get started. And if these hit a little too close to home for you, it's time to hit subscribe, because I keep it incredibly real and honest around here, and I give realistic, sustainable weight loss tips. All are things that I wish someone would have told me sooner. So if you're ready to start your last weight loss journey, subscribe. I got you.